All right, cool. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the TruuuTalk podcast. This is season 2, and this episode, Milan, what episode is it?
15.
It's episode 15. Like you told Milan, although we had already said to Milan before we went live, it's episode 15. Milan still was unsure. Milan, what episode is it?
No, you didn't. I said 14 or 15, and you went, yeah. Typical man. You just said, yeah, like what one? But I said 15 with my chest, and I got it right, so.
All the excuses in the world. Anyway, we are back. We are back again for another fun week of topics, laughter, and obviously the Arts Milan. Now, as always, we are joined by the TruuuTalk First Lady, Miss Chitty. Miss Chitty Bang Bang.
So, do you know what? First of all, I want to say to you, you didn't say we were going live. You didn't even give us like a little pre-warning or nothing. That was really bad, Sticks. I know you was trying to, show the world or just trying to catch me slipping and that, but you're rude for that. But watch, anyway, I'm coming back for you. Namaste and all that. Love, peace and love, and all the rest.
No. Again, when we talk about the worst Zodiac signs you ever dated, anyway, a man who needs introduction, Mr. TruuuTalk himself, Mr. Ashley. Show. Our very own banter bringer, Miss Milan, Miss Millie Rock. You're not saying nothing, you're just gonna smile. It's gonna just smile at us, yeah?
It's you already.
We got our favourite girl from the small island, Miss Cher.
What's going on?
Hey, guess who's back?
That's a phone call.
So I'm saying, boy. Cher with the good hair, my real life cousin in the real life, as Chitty would say.
In real life, yeah.
Exactly. We've also joined again by a special guest, Mr. Hoyt.
What's going on? Look, it's an honor to be around such talented, intelligent people. It's a joy and a privilege. And thanks to you, Sticky, for your strong, decisive leadership, your bravery in leading this platform as a fellow tourist. So I just wanted to put that out there.
It's the ass licking for me, though. You get me like I can. Anyway.
Well said.
Hoyt is my guy. And of course, myself, DJ Sticky Fingers.
The bad man one. The bad man one with the one lock.
With the one lock. Coming along, though, nicely, isn't it?
Yeah,
anyway, this week... Exactly,
along.
just the one in. It's the one. There's the one stood there. This week we've got our 2 topics as always. PD wants to know, was this rehearsed? No, it's not. The office is not rehearsed. PD, come on. DJ Empress says greetings, and PD also says greetings as well. This week we've got our 2 topics as always. Our first topic, which is our serious topic, right, is should people be carrying weapons for protection? Let's say again, should people be carrying weapons for protection? Right, that's our first topic and our serious topic. We're going to do, obviously, the Arts Milan. And if you don't know what Arts Milan is, Arts Millie is where Chitty gives Milan a real-life scenario and wants to know what Milan will do. That's our Arts Millie. And then our final topic, our fun topic is, what's the worst Zodiac sign you have ever dated? Now, we all know that it's going to be Gemini, especially those Geminis who are born in May. But anyway, we won't go there right now. We'll go there a little bit later. I think even Milan's agreeing with me as well. You agree with me, right, Milan? Those Geminis that are born in May.
She's a fellow air sign. She's not going to do that. Don't do that, Milan. Don't do it
Right. So on our first topic, on our serious topic, right? And again, it is, should people be carrying weapons for protection? I want to give a bit of context to this before we get into it, because we're going to go to Ash first. But to give a bit of context, right, there was a video that went viral last week, about 5 days ago, from an artist called Kim. I believe her name is Kim Cash. And I'm going to read to you verbatim what she said in the video, and then we're going to let you know what you think as well, okay? So I'm going to read verbatim what she said. The video was 45 seconds, all over the blog pages, and this is what Kim Cash said. She says, I'm going to say this with my chest. I don't agree with boys not carrying knives. I believe that we live in a generation where you must learn to protect yourselves and adapt with the times. We've had recent events where King Vong got taken out because he went to go fight his ops with guns, with his fists, and it just didn't work out. At the end of the day, carrying knives is a lifestyle choice when you're part of the lifestyle. Really about that life. What this shit entails. Oh, you know what that shit entails. Okay. If you live by the sword, you go and die by the sword. And I don't want to get with a man who doesn't know how to defend me because he can't defend himself and keeps getting stabbed up every weekend. That's long. Okay, so that's what she said verbatim. Ash, I'm going to come to you first. What's your views? Do you think we should be carrying weapons for protection?
Okay, so first I'm going to address the viral video. That is an actual real mentality, yeah? And this is like, I can't say the problem, but this is where you see how deep-rooted the problem is. It's so embedded in culture that girls are freely saying online for millions of people to see. That's what they want. Do you get it? But when people say, girls like bad boys and that, it's not just a saying. Do you get what I mean? It's a real thing, and it's not like it just started happening. This is normal. So that kind of perpetuating that kind of, I don't want a man that can't do this for me, or if I'm in the issue, he can't come and bang out for me or come and slap something over. That's the real thing, fam. It's not like she's not the. I think she's an idiot. Don't get me wrong. I think she's a fool, but she's not the only girl that thinks and moves and acts and does things like that. There's bare girls that think like that move like that expect a man to be able to do those kind of things and act them ways. You know what I mean? But other than that, I don't think that it's. I understand why people would feel like the need to carry weapons in this current climate. Yeah, I don't even say this current climate because obviously across history people have always carried weapons to protect themselves. Yeah, but obviously we created a society where people are meant to be safe enough not to carry weapons. It's funny that we had this topic because in the school that I work at, police officers actually came in, and this is like the first time I ever had an opportunity to actually have a conversation with a police officer. You know what I mean? Other than being stopped or being like on the opposite side. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a teacher in the school, so I have an opportunity to ask them questions and see what their response would be. So I put the thought to them, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people outside of the community think, yeah, or understand. So what I said to them was, you're a police officer, and you would agree that you have the most dangerous job in the world, yeah? So you guys have all of these different things on you in order to protect yourself, whether it's a taser, pepper spray, baton, whatever it is. You have to stab-proof vest, all of these things in order to protect yourself, because you would say you're at a high risk of being killed or being harmed. And I said to him, statistically, young black boys under 25 are at a higher rate in terms of statistics of getting killed or injured on the street. So that means that they're more at risk than you as a police officer. But you would agree that you need to carry something or have some things in order to make yourself feel safe. And I asked him, so what would you suggest to these young people that don't feel safe? And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a straight answer. But I just wanted to see if they could just have a little bit of compassion, the same way, or empathy, because they are afraid themselves. And this is why they roll in a group. And this is why they have radios to be able to get quick response, and why they have all of these different tools and whatever in order to do their day-to-day tasks. So I wanted to see if he could put himself in the shoes of someone who isn't even doing the job. I didn't even put my uniform on to be a target. I'm a target when I wake up and step outside, no matter what I'm wearing. What do I do? And this is something that we got to ask ourselves, and we got to kind of put ourselves in that position. Because it's easy to say, oh, you lot are carrying weapons, you deserve to go to jail, you get bigger sentences, rare to tear. I get it. I watch the videos, I see they get stabbed. It was horrible. I see it. I see all of the viral videos of the knife fights. I get it. That's like probably the most horrific thing you could see. Do you get me? But put yourself in the position of one of them. There's 3 people with knives, and there's one youth fighting 3 people with knives. Put yourself in his position for a second. You get it? I'm either going to die here or I'm going to kill here. Do you get me? There's no getting away from it unscathed. Do you know what I mean? Put yourself in that position. And a lot of these youths are in that position where they feel like, I'm in a position where I'm either going to get killed or I'm going to have to kill someone. Do you get what I mean? So I think as a community, we got to really step up and step out, because it's peak, man. It's peak.
So with that, it almost says that there is a bit of truth in what she's saying in the viral video, that that maybe people may need to carry weapons to protect themselves. I mean, Milan, what's your views? Any truth in that? What do you think?
Again, like, I don't. It's not that I don't agree with her. I fully understand and understood where she was coming from. I get what she's saying. And when you look at the world that we live in now, do you know what I mean? She's right. It doesn't mean that she is right. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that people should carry and have a weapon on them to be able to protect themselves, because why should you? As a human, you should be able to wake up and go about your business. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't have to carry a knife, a gun, or whatever. But like, it's just unfortunate that in the current society that we're in, and the thing is as well, it's not just in England. This is happening in a lot of countries all over the world. People feel protected when they've got something on them. People aren't even protected in their cars anymore. Like, there was a video, I don't know if it was going around last year or the year before, where someone was literally driving and somebody pulled up on like a ped and drew a machete out from Lord knows where, because you're sitting down, so how did it bend like with his leg? Pulled that out and was literally attacking somebody in their car. Like, you're not protected. So I'm not saying that it's right. We've just got to look at how we change it. Because like when I was in school, people had knives, but they would like, if they used them, it was a last resort. They would literally have like a fist fight. Do you know what I mean? Or they go to grab their belt. Not that I'm saying that's better, but do you know what I mean? Like, they wasn't drawing for a knife. But now that seems to be like an everyday thing. Like, you could literally be on a bus, be in Tesco's, be queuing up in a post office, and the kid behind you has something on it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like we've all grown to just accept it when it's not right. But how do we change it? Where does it stop? Where did it even like start? A lot of people now are doing like have like a knife amnesty thing where you can hand your thing in. But even if you're handing it in because you want to get out of the game, you are now unprotected. Do you know what I mean? So if you've made these enemies here, there, or anywhere, you are now unprotected because you're trying to do the right thing and you've handed in your knife. It's a sticky situation.
It really is. What I'm going to do, I'm going to read some of the messages and then I'm going to come to you, Hoya. Right, so let me just get through some of these quickly. But yeah, some valid points in there, Milan. Sorry. Isan and Kim says, good evening, crew. DJ Empress says, I agree with Ash. Rena says, I hear you, Ashley. Peely says, exactly, that is part of the root, part of the cause, part of the problem. It's deep-rooted and people really need to change their mentality so it filters down to the younger ones. The older ones that are making these younger ones follow them need to teach them differently. Bruno says, change of mentality. DJ Empress says, it's the way she puts it. Talking about the video that went viral. Impress also says, it's like she's egging it on, but I understand from having a 22-year-old younger brother, his mentality is so scary, but it's what he knows, he says. Okay. Peter also says, even if you have a weapon, who says you are protected? Do they even know how to use it to protect themselves? Okay, fair enough. Hoyt, come to your views on this again. Obviously, you're from overseas, so I'm not sure what it's like from where you're from. But what's your views on this one?
Yeah, so listening to the young lady, what you read, I think I can kind of understand essentially what she was trying to argue, although I disagree with the majority of it. I know here in the States, I think an equivalent of what we're dealing with here is that if you look at Chicago, if you look at DC, New York, and even here in Richmond, we kind of have that same issue, but it's more so in gun violence. So you're not really seeing a lot of like stabbings, but it's like tremendous gun violence. And so a lot of politicians, what's the issue here right now is that we've had a lot of mass shootings, and then we've had a lot of proximity violence. So I don't like to say black on black crime because it's not taking into account these systemic issues. And so one of the arguments is that, do we do like an all-out ban on assault rifles or assault weapons? Do we bring back something like Project Exile? And Project Exile was this program back in the 90s where if you had an illegal gun, which impacted mostly black people because a lot of black people from these inner city communities, you couldn't afford to go and purchase a gun. So normally you're getting your gun illegally. And a lot of black men were getting 5 years off top, plus whatever other sentences if they were using it in a murder or whatnot as well. I don't think that you necessarily need a weapon for protection, but I'm not anti-weapon either, because the world that we live in, you don't want to be without when the psychopaths and the bad guys, they do have weapons. They do have access to knives. They do have access to handguns, if you will. So, for me, I just think I think what that young lady said, we have to be careful when we frame things like that, because what it looks like is you're perpetuating like a toxic problem that's plaguing communities in the UK and that's plaguing communities here. So I think the real discussion becomes, how do we become responsible knife and or gun owners? Not only that, what are the systemic issues that is causing this? Like what's going on in the UK and what's going on here in Richmond, Chicago, New York, that's causing a lot of these young men to join gangs in which they find themselves in situations where you have to stab another person for your own survival, or you have to shoot at somebody else, or you have to find an illegal gun. And the larger ramifications of that is that how is this impacting black families? So if you have a lot of black men in the UK or here in the US that are constantly being arrested, taken away from their homes, away from their children, what are the other negative residual effects as well? So I'm in an argument where I do believe I am pro gun, pro having a weapon, but then I'm also pro let's fix the systemic issues as well. Because whether we like it or not, I think it was Milan that was talking about a gentleman that pulled out a machete and attacked someone in their vehicle. Well, that happens here as well. A good friend of mine, if his wife didn't own a handgun, she probably would have got raped and killed. A friend of mine who's a former police officer, his wife, their house got broken into, and the guy came in there with a knife. He had like a butcher knife, and he was going to attack and rape my friend's wife. But she had a handgun in there, and she shot the guy. He didn't die, but it literally saved her life. So when we get into these conversations about weapons, let's also look at context of what's going on. But if we're looking at the context of black men and women joining gangs and having to arm themselves because of that, we have to address that particular issue. But underneath that, there's systemic issues like, poverty, and mass incarceration as well, that are driving factors behind that.
Yeah, definitely a lot in there as well. I know you're talking about people, owning weapons. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's Switzerland. If I'm not mistaken, you're legally allowed to have a gun, but they have like the lowest rate of gun crime. So is it having the weapon or is it just the mentality? Who knows? Cheers, I'm going to come to you next. What's your views? Any truth of what this lady said in given the context? Should people be carrying weapons to protect themselves?
I mean, in regards to what she's saying, it's a very real thing. And I totally understand what she was saying and where she was coming from. But I just think it was just the deliverance of it. And the way she said the word used, it was just very gang related, that gang mentality that, it's not a good thing. It's not a good energy to project out there, is it really? It's such a catch-22, because I think sometimes, I know people who carry weapons, who carry a hand knife, like a little pocket knife around with them for protection, because they are in fear of certain things. There was a little scenario that happened where I live a few years back, and there was a woman. She was in a queue, and the woman behind her said to her, you pushed in front of me, and it was a madness. And then the other woman ended up pulling up this big knife, and stabbing the woman in the shop. Now, the thing behind that was the woman who stabbed the other woman, she they found out that she was suffering with trauma. She watched her brother get stabbed to death when they were younger by a gang of boys. So she always from then carried like a knife or a sharp object around with her. So if anything popped off, she was using that knife. And it just so happened that the most trivial like scenario, trivial thing kind of triggered her. But she didn't, I'm not saying she got away with it, but she was put in like a mental institute and stuff, and they institutionalized her in that way. But then I also know a girl who taxi driver tried to drag her in his taxi. She was going home, and he said to her, "Come on, I'll give you a lift." And she said, "No, I'm not getting in." And he dragged her into the taxi. She had a pocket knife on her, stabbed him in his leg, and like sort of immobilized him, and it saved her life. But then she was still reprimanded for using a knife on another person. Do you get me? So it's just where is the balance? What do we do? So, you know, there's people out there who are carrying weapons in order to protect themselves, but then they're still going to get reprimanded, get into trouble. But then there are people out there just stabbing people for fun and stabbing people for free. Do you get me? Like, where's the balance? What can we do to educate people? And I think there needs to be more like support groups for people who have been victims of, you know, being stabbed. I know a few people who have been stabbed and they're still living with the trauma. I don't think there's enough support for them, and there need to be support groups for their families to talk to them about how it's affected them, because it's, you know, otherwise it creates a ripple effect, whether it's protecting yourself or whether you're stabbing someone because you're in a gang or you think you're a bad man or you think you're a bad girl. It's going to happen, and it's going to keep happening until we put these things in place in order to, you know, lesser this problem, because it's a big problem. Somebody in where I live, somebody got stabbed with a machete the other day outside McDonald's, like, and now McDonald's got bare security guards, like, but just because people are moving them mad right now, and this is what's happening. So I think it's about educating people on the effects of, you know, knife crime and what it does, and any crime is bad. Do you get me? Knife crime, gun crime, but then it's also about learning how to protect ourselves. Like, what it doesn't hurt to put. Why don't they put, like, you know, these self-defense lessons in youth centers, in schools? Why is it not part of the curriculum? Why does my daughter have to go to school and she's not taught how to protect herself, like in a legal way? Those are the questions that we need to ask, really. Yeah, and those are my views on that.
Definitely a lot in there. Brina says, that's right, Chids, balance. Peely says, right, Chids, there's no system in place when these things happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so share. What is your views? Any truth on what this young lady's saying? Kim Cash, I believe her name is, in the video. Should people be carrying weapons to protect themselves?
I just think it's carrying a knife is just a no-win situation, to be honest, because I've had a friend who has got killed through knife crime, so I just know the effects of it, the effects of carrying a knife. I know somebody who's been put in a mental hospital from carrying a knife and acting on it. I know somebody who's gone to prison because of it. So it's just like, it's a no-win situation, really. So like Chidi was saying as well, I think, you know, self-defense classes, learning about this stuff in school is really important, but it's not something that is put in place. And I feel like it needs to be put in place more, because it's not happening for no reason. People are doing these things for a reason, but it's stemming from a deep place. So I think, you know, it's important for people to dig deep and really find out what's going on, rather than, you know, just thinking, oh yeah, let's carry knives to protect ourselves. Because it's kind of similar to rape as well. Like, as women, you know, we should be protecting ourselves against rapists, or as men even against rapists. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like these things are things that need to be tackled more, and I don't really think carrying a knife is a solution. It's more part of a problem. That's what I think. It's more part of a problem, because in the long run, what's it really going to do? You might survive, but you might go to prison. You might go to mental hospital. So, you know, I think more needs to be done in that sense overall.
Okay, now fair enough. And also on that, DJ Empress says condolences, and again, condolences to those who you lost that are close to you, all right? What I'm going to do...
I wanted to say something quickly, sis. I wanted to say something because what I think this whole thing shows there is that as a demographic, we were fully unprotected by society in terms of like the police or the people that's supposed to protect you. There's no true safeguarding for our kids or none of these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no, like they literally, it's just like they're left. The system is only seeing them as perpetrators and don't understand that there's more victims than perpetrators in this thing. Do you get me? But no one is really being treated like a victim, whether they've been stabbed, whether they're from a certain area, whether they've been robbed or whatever situation is going on. No one is being seen as someone who might have trauma in the situation, might be affected, might be in danger. Because when I working with kids, you see how the people that are part of their life go so hard to make sure that they're safe. They go so hard to understand what's going on in their lives, why this is happening, what's going on with that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's somebody's job to safeguard these children. But with our children, they're not being safeguarded. Even as a community, parents, grandparents, cousins, whatever, aunties, we have to safeguard our kids, innit? We have to safeguard them, like be part of their life. Don't allow them to have a life that's completely separate that you don't know about. You know what I mean? Like be in their business, be part of their life, know their friends, go where they're going, know where they're going. Like, because it's so necessary. It's like we're at a point where there's no we ain't got time to give them leeway anymore. We can't leave it to them. We can't leave them to their own devices anymore. If you want your children to be safe, you have to force the fact and make sure that they're safe. Otherwise, the streets or society, the police, the ambulance. Listen, I see you get stabbed in a rave in my ends, and the police came before the ambulance came, and before the proper ambulance came, the doctor car came, looked at him, and then the ambulance came. So that's like two different officials came before the ambulance came and got him, while my man's laying on the floor bleeding out. So this lets me know, like, indeed, they knew where it was. And these times, the hospital is on the same road. You get me? It was London Road. Man was on London Road. You get me? At a club on London Road, and the hospital is on London Road. You get it? But the police came before the ambulance. Do you know what I mean? So this just lets you know that it's not in their it's not necessarily their duty to protect us or in their interest to protect us. So we have to go harder. Just like, yeah, that's it. So it's
Yeah.
I agree. We got to look after our yeah, sorry, Shay, I didn't mean to cut you. Apologies.
No, I fully agree. That was fact. Fact what you were saying.
Yeah. PD says, true, either way you lose your life, whether you are on the receiving end of the person who is used the weapon, going back to what Shay was saying earlier. The video says, definitely, Ash, they need protection and guidance, talking about our young ones. I'm going to read some of these messages that I found online as well. So I found the original page where I saw the video initially, and some of the people who agreed with what this artist, Kim Cash, I think her name's Kim Cash, I can't remember now, was saying. So someone's got in here, fam, Bear Man would have been caught slipping if they weren't carrying. Someone says, fact, bro, only man who grew up on the ends will understand. Now, these people are all in agreement saying that people shouldn't be carrying knives, all right? Someone else got, trust me, it's literally life or death for some men. Luckily, I don't have to live that life. Luckily, I don't have to live life like that, but I know men who do. And there's a couple of others. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this, right? And then we're going to enter the Ask Millie, because that's one of my favourite part of the show, if I'm honest with you, right? So, Chiz, you ready for the Ask Millie?
Yeah, man, I'm ready.
Before we do that, so here's my views on what this young lady said, right? So if she had said, start off by saying, I understand why people may carry weapons because they feel like they need to protect themselves, but they shouldn't. Then I would have been like, you know what, I agree with her fully. Okay? Because you can understand why someone does something, or they may not agree with it, or you can see where they're coming from, but you want things to be better. The problem I have with it, it felt like she was advocating, not felt like, she was advocating. She says, I don't want to be with a man, I don't want to make who man can't protect himself. I think people should carry knives. If you're telling people to carry knives, it's going down one way and one way only, innit? It's not, you're not telling people to carry flowers, you know what I mean? Carry rose petals, you know what I mean? You're not carrying anything that's positive. You're telling people to carry something which is only there to cause harm. So I get where the points people made on today so far, and saying that I understand why people may do stuff and the reasons why, but I can't be condoning people from doing so. I can't be seen to be encouraging youth. And again, it's mainly youth, right? Because when you get to a certain age, innit? People like 30, 40, 50, 60, they don't have arguments about knives and stuff like that. And if they do, it's something they know one another, it's something serious. But it's usually a youth thing, right? From what I've seen. The videos I see online is all young people, all right? So to be encouraging youth to be carrying knives, I can't advocate it. I can't be part of that. I can't agree with what she's saying whatsoever. The only thing I can agree with is I understand why people may feel they need to do so. Yeah, so that's my 10 pence worth, and that's it. No more for another couple of weeks, all right? Chids, you ready for the Ask Millie?
I'm ready, Vicky.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. It goes. I had to put my glasses on for this one because the writing's mad small. So me and my husband have been married for 11 years. We have never had infidelities or issues within our marriage. That is because once a year, me and my husband take a week off our marriage. Yes, you heard me right, a week. In that time, we can do whatever we want. The only rule is we never talk about it. We've been doing this for 10 years and it works. Our marriage is stronger than ever. Please don't judge us. It works for us. And while many are getting cheated on, we are over here solid. If you want a long-lasting relationship or marriage, take a week off and you'll thank me later. So basically, what the summary of this is, would you give your significant other a pass?
I feel like that is the most stupidest, dumbest thing that I've ever heard of in my life. Wait, so you've made vows? You've literally made vows, and because the thing is, they don't talk about it. So maybe in their week off, she's literally sat on the couch, stuffing her face with cheese. Do you know what I mean? And he's with the lads, and they're bloody playing fantasy football or some shit like that. Did you know what I mean? So that could be what's happening, and that's why their marriage is so strong, because he gets to have a week of football and she has a week of eating cheese on the couch. Or she has a week of literally, imagine your wife is literally skin out with like 3 other guys and it's just her, like, but it's okay because you're not talking about it.
Skin out. I'm done.
Yeah, she's skin out with 3 other men, and my man is going to one of the masquerade parties where you go around and you just fuck all night, like. But that's okay because it's for a week and you don't talk about it. No, respect yourself more than that. If you want to fuck out, then don't be in a marriage and don't be in a relationship. I don't get it. Like she said, it works for her. Don't judge her. I'm not judging her. I'm judging their arrangement. Your arrangement is the most dumbest, stupidest thing that I've ever heard in my life. Like, that's like when people go, I want to have a break. No, you don't. You just want to go and put your dick in something else, and you just want your vagina to be widened by something else. Do you get it? Like, literally, it's the same thing. You're literally just going on a yearly break, and you're saying that it works for you. Like, you're telling me after that week, you come back and you're sitting there, comfy as hell. Hi, babe. Oh, did you enjoy your week? Do you want me to make you some dinner? No! Like, my mind would be doing overtime. Like, I'm not the type of person to cheat anyway, so I would be the girl on the couch eating cheese. Do you know what I mean? Catching up on all my soaps because he's like, I don't like EastEnders, I don't want to watch Hollyoaks. Do you know what I mean? Like, so now I've got to compromise with that. So in my week off, I'm catching up on literally like 6 months worth of all of this in a week. Had to take a week off work. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting there while he's doing what he's doing, and we're going to come back and be okay. Not talk about it. You've got problems. You've got issues. And I see Sticky's face over there. Sticky's thinking, oh, but I would like that. Yeah, because you're wrong as well. You're wrong. A whole wrong. Think it's wrong. Think it's absolutely wrong.
She's coming for you, you know.
Actually, the reason I was laughing, first of all, I have you know, is I was agreeing with everything you were saying. Thank you very much. I know it's the first time I've ever done so, but it actually is the first time I was agreeing with everything you were saying, because for once, we're talking sense.
Sense all the fucking time I had, you know.
DJ Empress says, hell no, what the Ross is this, chids? Beanie says, that's how she consoles herself. Also says, masquerade party. DJ Empress says, 1 week swingers club, come off it. Peely says, she starts off by saying they have no infidelities. And DJ Empress says, whole bigger willy stretch out. Going back to what Milan was saying. I need to get everyone's opinion on this, actually, because this one's a mad one. I'm going to go to you first, Shem. Shem, let me come to you first. Shem, what do you think of this 1 week break? Because I think the words that Milan used as a week break, I think is right. I think she's actually right. What do you think of this? Do anything you want.
You know what, yeah. If it works for them, it works for them, innit? It's their marriage at the end of the day. If it works for them and they're telling the truth, then that's up to them. Do you know what I mean? I think it's better than them lying and going out cheating. Do you know what I mean? So if it works for them, that's calm. But
no, they don't ever talk about it, so you don't actually know what they're doing. When you come back, you just carry on as normal. You don't talk about it.
That's the whole point.
You don't know if you fucked out. You could literally fuck a different guy every day and come back and be cool because you don't talk about it. He doesn't know if you fucked out because you don't talk about it. Do you know what I mean? So it still is, to me personally, it still is a lie because although you don't talk about it because that's what you decided as a couple, you're still not telling the other person what you've done. If you're in a relationship, especially with marriage and with said vows, you're supposed to live by that. So do you know what I mean? You're still lying. It is cheating. You two have just agreed that it's okay.
Is it cheating though? They came to an agreement on something. So I don't know if it is cheating, but
it's not cheating, man.
Not cheating. I wouldn't say it's cheating.
So within that, when they take the week apart, there's not any specific guidelines of what you can or cannot do, correct?
Exactly.
They just go and do their thing, isn't it?
So for me, the only way I could do that, the only way that would work is that I'm allowed to do it. She's not. So we have to have that arrangement set up. But I can step out, but she can't. So if we can have that set up, I'm good with it.
This is the thing, yeah. I'm just going to say something. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
look. This is the thing with people, yeah. I don't think that arrangement is... Remember, they're talking about they've been together for a decade, yeah? Our longest relationship as a group here, probably a decade between us, 15 max. You get what I'm trying to say? If we're talking about the longest relationship. You've had 10 years, 7 years. And
5.5.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying consecutively between us, we probably got about, maybe 15s if we're lucky. Do you get what I'm saying? We're talking about that. Well, I'm saying,
you're down with that arrangement.
They've got a decade just them. Do you get it? So for us to say they're mad and they're there, obviously we don't know what we're talking about because we ain't got what they got. They got I think it's long lasting. And they're still happy. Because this is the thing, like people forget that people are really individuals. Like, regardless if you're in a relationship, this is where it fucks up and people don't last.
You don't become that person. You're not one person. Listen, you know when they say like,
it's a fake people say, bruv. It's a fake concept. People just pretend that I'm this now. I'm this. But really deep down, when they're with their brethren, they're themselves. or when they're with their family, they're themselves for that little while. So release. You see, when you're trying to be something for someone constantly, you can't be good at it because you're just doing that.
I hate
you're like, bro, it's overbearing. Like, I need to be me for a little while. I need to regain my what makes my essence.
Into a relationship and not be
so I don't. You don't necessarily have to sleep with somebody else in your week off. It's about not having that person need you for that week. Like, leave me to have me for this week. 1 week out of the year, I can't not fuck with you. If I can't have that, I don't want you. That's crazy. 1 week out of the whole year, I can't just be myself and not have to look at my phone and say, "Raw, my wife is hollering at me," or "My wife." Be yourself for a week. Go link your sister for a week. I don't care what you do. The point is, I don't care what you do. And if you can do that as an individual and say, "Look, I don't care what you do for this week. I don't need to know. I don't want to know. Just do it away from me."
So let me put this out there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think that's terrible. I think that's a good way.
I agree with you. I agree with the Neo.
People piss me off. You know, sometimes you just need space from people, fam. Straight like that, whether you like them, whatever. You need them to fuck off sometimes, and 7 days ain't too much to ask.
So even within that, you know, I'm listening to this, and I've studied a lot about different forms of relationships, polyamory, etc., open marriages. And so while you guys were conversing, I thought about this. Maybe within that week where you're away from each other, it could kind of validate the level of trust and respect. Because let's say if I'm with my wife and we're going to take a week off, I love her so much that in my week off, I'm not even trying to step out. I might just be chilling. I forgot who pointed that out earlier. So maybe that could be the case as well. It's like, I love this person so much. They're my better half. They complete me. They're my left eye. I'm the right eye. We produce one vision together. So even when I'm not in their presence,
people are out here doing their thing. That's a fairy tale right there.
Not necessarily though. Not necessarily.
I mean, it's a feeling. It's a feeling. You can't feel like that constant. It's like you're gonna have an off day. You're gonna have an off period.
Of course
you are. I'm not feeling myself. I'm not even feeling myself. Like, I just need.
Do we need to update the definition of what constitutes a relationship? Because textbook definition is man meets woman, we're together, we don't see anyone else. Maybe we need to kind of evolve our perception and definition of what constitutes a healthy relationship. Because maybe, just maybe, that time away, or it may not necessarily always be physical intimacy. It could just be emotional intimacy as well. I mean, we don't know.
Exactly. Like, I can totally agree with it. Like, in my last really serious relationship, like, I used to disappear and piss off and whatever every now and again. And sometimes I might be chilling with another man, Never fucked that as a man. Never slept with that as a man. I just needed, that it's a different kind of intimacy. Do you know, to have somebody understand your mind? Your partner's not always going to understand all bits about you get me? So for somebody else to understand certain parts of your mind, and for you to escape to that without the physical, is a different kind of intimacy, you know? And like, do you know what my partner at the time turned around and said to me? He was more pissed off. He said, "I would have rather if you fucked him, you know? I would have rather if you slept with him, because now he's explored like a depth of a part of your mind that man don't even know about. A man's pissed about that. Do you get me? So he's like, it don't matter how much I'm slamming you round the bedroom, he's still explored that part of you, and I can't explore it because I don't even understand it. And I don't want to understand it. So if he didn't want to put the time and effort in to understand that part of my mind, somebody else was going to. So I fucked off to that other person. And what? And I told him before I was going and when I came back. Do you get me? So like what they're saying, I don't know what the nature of that scenario is, but I don't think there's nothing wrong. In that week, listen, a man, or a woman, if they are faced with the opportunity, it was somebody they're attracted to, to sleep with them or to do whatever, they're going to do it, They're going to do it, and you're never going to know. There's people out there who have partners and stuff, and they're all happily in love and whatever in this partnership, and they say, "Oh, I've never cheated." Yeah, you have. yeah, you have, you're lying. At the end of the day, why not have an agreement that 1 week out of the whole year, there's 52 weeks in a fucking year, yeah, out of that whole year, you go do your thing, I do mine, come back, we don't speak about it. End up. Do you get me? What you don't know can't hurt you. Keep it moving. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it, personally.
Can I
There's-
put a question
Hold on,
out there?
right.
Okay, yes.
Hold on. Maybe something messages quickly. Hold on, right? Brina says, well, Peely says Hoyt and laughs at Hoyt. Brina says straight ash 100%. Peely says you should be able to do your own thing in your daily life throughout your relationship anyway. Good point. Brina says, good point, Hoyt. Redefine the concept or definition of a relationship. Brina says, yes, Chids. Brina says, exactly, Chids. If someone is going to cheat, they're going to cheat. Now, I've got a question on this, actually, and I'm going to come to you next, right? So, in this scenario of, you can do whatever you want in that 1 week. My question would be, right? First of all, ladies in the comments, what are your views? Is it okay for your partners to, you and your partner have a week off and do whatever? But secondly, if your partner was to do something in that week, would you be asking yourself what they were doing the week leading up to that week? Because if you're off for a week and say he or she sleeps with someone, would your mind not be thinking, well, did you meet them in that 1 week or were you lining up before that week started?
Yeah, because what I don't know can't hurt me. I wouldn't give a fuck, really.
But if you think about it, though, but check this, though.
Your man could go on.
Check this, though. The reason why I ask the question is because if we're saying, right, that you got 1 week to do whatever you like, whatever you want to do, okay? You want to do cartwheels and backflips, whatever you want to do, spin on it, jump from a chandelier, whatever you want to do, you can do, right? But my thing would be, well, hang on a minute. So what were you doing the weeks leading up to that? That means during those other weeks.
You could go shop, see a girl that Wednesday on the Monday and fuck her on the Wednesday. We talked about this before, Sticks. Come on.
Well, the thing is this, bro, like, we're just assuming there that these people are like hella horny and promiscuous, bro. Maybe they are fucking so often that during this week might not even need to fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're just assuming like their sex life is dead. Like, maybe their sex life is the shit, but maybe he don't want to fuck for a week. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not necessarily that man wants to go and fuck someone else this week. It's just that I don't want to be with you for a week.
Fantasy football with
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even if she's doing that, to get me, if you, yeah, it's a different thing. I ain't gonna say that. Like, it's just that it just depends how comfortable you are with yourself and your partner. You have to know that person, bro. Know what they're like without you there. Like, you have to know, like, this person is like this, whether I'm there or not. They're themselves, bro. So you ain't go. I don't care. Go enjoy yourself. Go dance with a couple people. Go flirt. Go be you,
because you're not supposed to do all those things when you're in a relationship.
You get me? I'm not
That's
saying
what I mean. There's levels.
Go get bent over in the park. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
on the bench, on Milan's bench.
If you're the person, if you're the kind of girl that gets bent over in parks anyway, then you probably wouldn't be man's girl. I'm sure girls flirt with man and get moved to and enjoy conversating and do. Do you get it? Go and do that, bro. Don't pretend you don't want to do that.
That's what I mean. Do you know what I think it is? I think I think the mistake, especially women as well, yeah, like being a woman, I will say, the mistake that we make as women is we attach ourselves to that one man. We attach ourselves and we become who we think he wants us to be, instead of remain like, seeing me, I'm very individual and I like my freedom whether I'm with somebody or not. So you either accept me with my freedom-ish ways, yeah, or you fuck off, because I'm not tying myself to you and becoming something different to the point where I get so pissed off that I'm in a white Fiat Punto, like just about to get bent over, but then feeling guilty, thinking my man's at home. That's never happened, by the way. Yeah? And it does lead you to do things like that, because when somebody's trying to change you and mold you into something that you're not yet, and you lose your sense of freedom, you end up in a white Fiat Punto that with next and if that's not real, yeah.
I don't know why to be getting bent over white Fiat Punto. I don't know why. Anyway, read somebody's message. We've got 10 minutes left to go, right, guys? We've still got to do our last topic. PD says, that's what I said. It would be on your mind. DJ Empress says, Sticky looking like Beetlejuice with that hair. Don't get me started on DJ Empress. Brina says there should be enough trust, respect, and loyalty that you can comfortably give your partner a week to do what they want. Also, before I forget, speaking of Brina, next week's show, I believe Brina and Chili are going to have a one-to-one like they did last week. Well, I say Hoyt and Chili did a fantastic one-to-one last week. Excellent show. And Brina and Chili are going to be doing a one-to-one next week.
I'm looking forward to that. And shout out, listen, you need to listen, Sticky, sorry, let me cut you, and I'm not even sorry. Shout out to Brina. Who saw Brina's post today? Was she not looking fire, though? She was banging. Listen, I felt away. Yeah, you inspired me to post a picture myself. I felt away. Yes, my girl. And just like, thank you, big shout out to Brina. Thank you for your beautiful energy. And you're just everything. Can't wait to speak to her, to be honest. She's left, man.
So yeah, Brina will be on the
and Sticky, we're not useless women. Sticky made a group.
No comment. No.
He put me, Brina, and Peely in there and called it useless women. You know, that's what he did. But it's all right there.
As Sparkle would say, if the shoe fits, then wear it. Nah. Anyway, Brina says, them cheating should even cost your minds. And PD says, right, chids. NG Bant says, late again, bless up all. I don't know why NG Bant is always so late. I mean, we've only got like 10 minutes left to go.
Before we're ending.
I know, honestly. Brina says everyone has their freedom.
Better late than never, my brother. Better late than never.
That's a good point. Better late than never.
You'll have to come on.
Yes, I think we should actually. Right, so last topic, quickly. Or by the way, DJ Empress says she dribbled at Brina's picture. So make sure that Brina's Addictive Cakes again. She'll be on next week. She'll be doing a one-to-one with Chili, and she also says I'm out of order for someone on me. I don't know why. But our last topic, we've got less than 10 minutes to go. What's the worst zodiac sign you've ever dated? Now I'm going to go to everyone quickly because we've got less than 10 minutes to go, right? And I'm going to start off by saying, obviously, we all know the worst zodiac sign has to be Gemini. Has to be Gemini. Those two-faced people, especially those that are born in May. Especially those born in May. Hoyt, I'm going to come to you next. Who do you reckon is the worst zodiac sign you ever dated?
I mean, the worst zodiac sign period I've ever met is a Gemini. But beside from that,
fuck you, Hoyt.
no. All jokes aside. All jokes aside, though, Sagittarius. Like, I will never in my life. You would have to put a gun to my head to make me date a Sagittarius. I would never do it again. They're unreliable, flighty. They would. It's just a horrible situation. I've dated 3 Sagittariuses, and it just was really awful. The best sign I ever dated, though, was a Pisces.
Yeah, I got a Pisces rising, so I can fuck with that. But my mum's a Sagittarius, so fuck you again.
All right, so go to you next to you, Chiz, right? Worst zodiac sign you ever dated?
You mean Capricorn, straight up and down. Straight up and down Capricorn. They're mad. Anyway, like, move along. I'm done.
PV says Taurus. I don't know why she says that. She said the worst. DJ Empress says Gemini and Taurus. PD then says then Scorpio, then Pisces. Shem, worst zodiac sign you ever dated?
Don't let your ego get the best of you, yeah. When I say this. But Taurus. But I'm gonna be clear though, Taurus, they have a really loving side, but they also have a really fuckery side as well. So
Sly motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Sly motherfuckers.
I don't know.
Was this a May Taurus or an April Taurus that you dated?
Nah, fuck y'all. All of y'all.
It's May?
Yeah.
Okay, we're out of the woods then. Okay. It don't count.
I'm a May one. I'm May. May.
Oh, that makes sense.
Makes sense. Milan, Millie Rock, worst star sign you dated? We know it's obviously Gemini, but what's the worst sign you dated?
Gemini. And
yeah, Gemini men are fucked.
From what I've seen around me from other people, Aquarius men, although I'm an Aquarius girl, but we're just absolutely fucking amazing. But Aquarius men, they are fucking terrible. Yeah. And Gemini men are shit.
Yeah. I can agree.
Well, Gemini, we know Geminis are, anyway. Geminis in general, especially, again, I keep saying, especially those born in May, right? Yeah, Ash, worst star sign you ever dated?
To be honest here, I don't actually know, because I never really used to ask girls their star sign like that, or their, you know what I'm saying? I never really used to know that information like that. So the only actual relationships I've had that actually found out that kind of information. I can't say the worst because I don't think that they were terrible. But I would have, if I have to choose, I've probably had the worst experiences with Libra women, even though I don't think that they're terrible. Yeah. But my personal experiences have been with Libra women that have been a bit, you get me? But that doesn't mean that Libra women are bad. You get? Because my mum's a Libra and I love my mum.
Brina says, I'm still getting familiar with the star signs. I'm late to the party. NG Bance says, Aquarius men are the best. Clearly, NG Bance, you know, I mean, he's almost right. If he said Aquarius men are second, if he said Aquarius men are second, I'd be like, yeah, we can talk, because Hoyt and I already know that obviously Taurians are the best. Yeah. Empress says Geminis are in a different world, not mine. Okay, fair enough. We got less than 5 minutes left to go, guys. What's the best star sign you've dated? I'm going to go back to you, Ash, first. Best star sign you've ever dated?
To be honest, I don't really know, you know. I don't really know like star signs like that, to be fair. I only really started really checking people's star signs recently, like not really something that it's not a historical thing, you know what I'm saying? So I can't really say, to be honest.
That's a good answer. I like that answer.
Yeah.
Milan, yo, best star sign you ever dated?
Never dated no one else, I don't know. Honestly,
Taurian men, okay, I'm with you there. Hoyt, best star sign you ever dated?
Pisces and Scorpio. Scorpio women are awesome, super fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Scorpio women, to be fair, and I'm not sure about that one. Chids, best star sign you ever dated?
I don't know, really. I don't really judge people by their star sign, but I wouldn't fuck with a Gemini guy. No way. Absolutely not. They're too much. But I dated the Gemini guy one time. It was like 20 of us. It was long. It was mad. I couldn't do it. It just felt like there was like 20 people in the whole like little thing. No, but I don't know. Libra men are meant to be my match, but I find them fucking boring. Like, they're just boring. I don't know. I don't know, really.
Cher, best star sign you ever dated? Taurus. We know.
I'm going to say Virgo or Scorpio. Actually, no.
We know it's Taurus. Healy says, when I find him, I will let you know. Brina says, Scorpio baby, and lots of laugh emojis. Guys, it's almost that time for us to leave before Instagram cuts out on us, right? So I was going to say, first of all, thank you for joining in as always. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to like, share, subscribe. And don't forget, next week, it'll be another one-to-one with Chidi and Miss Brina. They're doing their own one-to-one. Like you saw last week with Chidi and Hoyt, it was actually an amazing show. So make sure you catch us next week again as well. Next week, Wednesday from 10 o'clock, that'll be Miss Chidi and Miss Brina. And don't forget, if you haven't already, check Brina out. Brina's Addictive Cakes on Instagram. She does make nice cakes, okay?
They look good.
The taste are all right. The taste are all right. You get me? The taste are all right.
Oh, listen to him now.
He's loving Brina's cakes. I don't know why he's stunting, but...
Yeah, I know. She's got the cake. Oh, I think she like me. So, exactly. So, guys, look, thank you again, and we'll see you all next week, all right?
Bye.
Peace up. A-Town now.